Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking. Well, firstly, let's just look at the data. It's recently out this morning. You'll see a whole plethora of data there, UK data. It's all broken down into fine old detail on the list here, but you can see every point of it is positive. The key headline quarter-on-quarter data there is showing the I mean, it's the headline across here, look, that the initial GDP data coming in at 0.6, the forecast was 0.4, previous 0.3, so the Bank of England was expecting it to be improving, but this is well, gone beyond expectations at the moment, those numbers. So positive thing there for the pound. For the rest of the day, these are mainly speakers. I actually just clear things up a little bit. I just put this list here, and we've really just got the Canadian employment data coming up, and the US consumer sentiment, and well, there you are, US inflation expectations. So we could get a bit of action around 3 o'clock. We'll see. It's not the most highest regarded number, but we'll see what comes there at 3 for the US. But aside of that, as I say, lots of speakers running through the day here. In fact, it's yeah, they're almost non-stop being wheeled out. Anyway, let's have a look at the technicals this morning. And well, yesterday the euro here ended up doing a key reversal buy. It's completely engulfed the previous bar, almost the bar, but previous bar to it. It has run into its daily 50 here and has stalled a little bit. It's pulling away from that. There's no actual reason why this should be pushing up there, but well, things did change yesterday afternoon, as we can see. It's actually 1 o'clock. It actually pulled up quite well. A bit of divergence around the sort of earlier shift there. A break up there at 1 o'clock, and off it's sort of gone. Now, looking for today, I'm sort of would be looking at this. It's off a little bit at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if it can hold into its, if it gets back to its daily pivot, if it can hold down, give a bit of a base for a move to the upside. If so, it's got a decent range in terms of where its R1 is and its previous highs over here. So we got a reasonable target that could be pushing up through what was a trend line there. Looking at things on the intermediate time frame here. Initially, I had a short position in. I just closed it before the news came out yesterday, which well, eventually would have saved me. It probably would have hit a target here. I was looking around these areas as potential target, although when you was looking at it on the dailies, everything at one stage looked really nice for a bigger move to the downside. Just goes to show how quick and how fickle the market can be a little bit. However, the data was more positive, and it's that followed through. And we've got the higher low coming in this morning. Whether or not this can hold on here, it depends on the strength of the US dollar this morning. We're seeing the euro coming off a little bit at the moment. Actually, Canadian strengthening, the yen's weakening, the pound, well, it's a bit all over the shop at this stage. A continuation of this move would be quite nice. With the pound, I had identified on the very big time frame with the big money have got very extremely bearish on the pound. Now, whether or not that data, the GDP data, will change things or not, well, we'll see. Whether that will unwind itself in the coming weeks, but and push the pound up a little bit stronger. It's looking, to say technically, a little bit more positive at the moment. So that's the pound. US dollar yen. It's slowly and continually pushing up there back towards its monthly pivot, the underside of that. Again, I'll be looking for a reaction to that. It looks like the Bank of Japan are just sort of ducked out and just leaving things go at the moment. The market's not moving too much. There's a reasonable trend here, and this, well, this could follow up at this stage. It's just slow, and if you look at yesterday, it sort of popped up there, strengthened a little bit like most of the other markets against the US dollar yesterday. at the moment it's if you can get rid of that chunky stuff and you look at what's happening here, and well, it's putting a nice little hammery sort of bar in and coming off its daily pivot again here. We might see a continuation of that this morning. Right, that's the yen. Aussie dollar. It's looked half decent yesterday when I was looking at it for a continuation. It never triggered my alert here, which I was looking for a continuation to the downside there. So I was looking for waiting for the break of the 50. It's important to have your criteria in which where you perceive that the market is going to be weaker or stronger, and yeah, use alerts. And well, nothing went off here because it never broke it. In fact, it just ended up bouncing off the 50 again and continuing back to the upside there. And to this morning, at the moment, it's picking up there. We'll see how things change post 8 o'clock. We could get another sort of push to the upside on this. This correction might be over. It will be fighting with those prior highs again, but a quicker move up now. Could see it. I mean, there is an inverted head and shoulders for some people that are sort of looking at that. I'm sure they're looking at a sort of inverted movement. Really, I'm sort of looking at this A, B, sort of C movement. Is it really got, or is it a 1, 2, 3? Has it got the legs to get back up to that underside of the yearly pivot? Or I say the underside, but hit the yearly pivot again. US dollar CAD. This put on the daily picture here, put a pivot swing in there. It's looking technically a little bit weaker at the moment. It's not hardly pushing strong, but a break of that 200 was 4-hourly 200 would certainly be a bit more of a positive move to the downside. So at the moment, it's all looking a sort of, yesterday it was all looking pro a US dollar, and we look like we could have had some further upside on this in this case with the dollar, but this morning it's all looking a little bit different with what happened here with the lower highs. I did mention this actually on my final video here. It was looking a bit in betweeny in terms of the fact that it hadn't consolidated around this prior high here. It moved back and away from it, gave it the opportunity to break. Well, it broke a lot more than I expected there, and off it's gone. So it's at the moment looking a bit more solid, a bit bearish for the US dollar, a bit more solid for the Canadian there. But of course, as I said, we've got data coming out for the Canadian data later, dollar later. New Zealand dollar, well, this is again the shaping of this pivot swing sort of fixed in there yesterday. It's above its 50. It's looking a bit more positive. It wasn't selling off as much as the Aussie, but there again, it hadn't been as strong as the Aussie in the first place. It's just a bit more stalled here, but well, maybe there's a potential here. Again, it's back above its daily pivot. Maybe post 8 o'clock, if it can push beyond these near-term highs, there could be something in that, but it's not my favourite. It's a bit slow. US dollar Swissy, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess overall, running through all these time frames. If again, we could see a bit more of a reversal. At the moment, it's the US dollar is just holding up there, but we could see a bit more of a continuation. Say a bit more of a reversal, but a continuation of this move to the lower side there. It's not really looking great. I mean, yeah, it's not yet in any sort of trend. Okay, there's the majors. We'll look through the others in a short while in the trading room. Indices, a quick look, and gold. With gold's been shoving up there. Look at that this morning. Yesterday, solid movement there. I mean, this is expectations. It's really weird because we just now at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year, it was traders were looking for 4, 3, 4, 5 cuts in the US interest rate. Now they're looking for the possibility of a cut. We're seeing things move on the sort of comments pushing on the fact that they might cut this year. Well, there was 4 cuts priced in at the beginning anyway, or more. For now, gold's having a marvellous time. Copy there, but it's tracking its way back up there. Horrible old day yesterday, actually. Still not on my trading radar, oil at the moment. It's not consistent enough. US dollar, the S&Ps, the E-minis, again positive day. We're looking like it's going to be chasing up after those prior highs here. Next thing is, if it breaks those sort of levels, it'll be all changing bullish. I mean, it's amazing how quickly it's changed this week. It's helped it, but starting from last week, it sort of last Thursday, Friday saw the sort of data pushing up there, and it's looking quite positive for further upside. The Nasdaq and the Dow very similar in terms of price action and action, currently all looking pretty positive. DAX continuing its decent run there. It's broken the prior highs there. It looks really half decent yesterday, consolidated for a long period, but eventually pushed out beyond the highs there. Come sort of 11 o'clock, it was 11 o'clock, it started breaking up there and pushing on, looking more positive. The FTSE, ironically, going the other way in the short term at the moment, but yesterday again stretching its legs, pulling away from that gap. I need to have a look and see if that gap's everywhere on other feeds, but certainly for now, it's looking like there's some potential for the upside. I would wait for the FTSE to see if it comes back to the daily pivot and catches a bounce. Of course, if that rolls over further, it'll be a bit of a waiting game to see if it where it's best to buy from. Anyway, that's if it gets back that far. Just noticing it's starting to move as we're just running into the 8 o'clock bar here. It's new 8 o'clock bar on that, and started off positive, but it would be quite nice just to tick off the pivot first and then start moving. Right, actually, one thing I haven't done for quite some time, I do apologise, but it wasn't really going too much, and it's still got, this is Bitcoin, sorry, it's lower highs, lower lows, still sitting in that now. What we look for a more positive picture here would be a break back above the daily 50. At the moment, it's possibly turning here, but it's been sliding its way down there. Yesterday, key reversal bar, maybe it's enough to get it turning around as well and pushing back up again. And we'll see a break of this trend line eventually, maybe. Okay, so looking a bit more positive. Right, on that cheerful note, like finishing on a cheerful note, I wish you all a great day's trading, and I will speak to you on Monday. Take care. Bye for now.